This segment is sponsored by the Black Chronicle. Visit worldchronicleinc.com.
Last week on the Bev Smith Show nationally, we met a new voice. Not a new voice to the world of politics, but a new voice to the Bev Smith Show. She is from the great state of California. She's Congresswoman Karen Bass, and she is with us. And I told you last week you would be here. Welcome. Good to see you in person.
Thank you. You certainly did, and it's very nice to meet you in person.
I want to ask you how important this year's Congressional Black Caucus is compared to other years.
Well, I think given the state of our economy, given what we're dealing with in our country, given, unfortunately, a Republican leadership that says their number one goal is to make sure that our president is only in office for one term, this ALC is extremely important. Annual Leadership Conference is critical that we're here and critical that we're all clear about fighting for the American Jobs Act. That's job number one for us.
Well, when you say it's critical that we're all clear, unfortunately, the African American community, as we talk, is not all clear. Well, I would say that America's not clear. Give us a briefing on what the president wants.
Okay, essentially what the president is calling for is several ways to boost our economy and get people back to work. The first is giving tax breaks to small businesses. So you can imagine in communities where people have been unemployed for 6 months or longer, we should give an incentive to those businesses to hire veterans, to hire people who've been unemployed for a long time. Jobs, summer jobs, jobs for low-income folks, all of these are things that our community needs right now.
So how do we inform our community? What can we do? Are we going to go back to the streets because 2012 is almost destiny time?
Well, we always need to go back to the streets in our community. It's the streets, it's our churches, it's our schools, and we need to make sure that we don't buy into the notion that people have lost faith in our president and people are not going to go out to vote. I think that there's a lot of efforts going on across the country, and I know you know this, to actually prevent people from voting. Things that we thought had gone away many years ago, like charging people to vote, are saying that you need to bring your birth certificate. And I don't know about you, but I don't know where my birth certificate is, and I haven't seen it in a few decades.
Well, the problem is we need to educate the people to what's going on because Georgia is one of the states that has reenacted the poll tax. That's what. And last night, Georgia killed Troy Anthony Davis, an innocent man. And we're worried that Philadelphia will follow by executing Mamie Abu-Jamal, who is innocent also. So talk into that camera to African Americans before we let you go. And I appreciate it because I know your schedule is so busy, Karen. I know it is. But tell them why they need to open their doors to their neighbors and do what we did in the 60s and the 70s.
Well, you know, one thing that we have learned, one thing that I have certainly learned in my lifetime, is that you might be able to pass a bill or elect someone to office and bring about change, but unless people are involved on a consistent basis, that change can be reversed. And so we elected Barack Obama in '08, and folks are spending every day to make sure that he doesn't get elected again. And I just have to tell you that that needs to be the incentive that we have to energize folks, to tell people we have to go out, make sure he has a second term. But before that, we have to make sure that Congress passes the American Job Act. And there's something for everyone that's watching and listening to do. You can pick up the phone, you can send an email. The Speaker of the House, his name is John Boehner. He shouldn't be able to access his phone because there should be so many people calling him demanding that he put the president's bill up for vote in its entirety, not just the part that he likes, but the entire bill.
We appreciate so much your staff working with us, and I'd like to present you with the Chronicle. Yeah, now just open the page, just open it up and see how these are the actual newspaper clippings of our history from slavery all the way. Turn it around so they can see the slave ship and everything. And we'd like for you to have a copy of the Black Chronicle in your office, and tell folks if they want more information about it, they can go to the website for Black Chronicle or they can go to BevSmithTalks.com. God bless. Thank you so much. Thank you, Congresswoman. We love you. Thank you. Very nice. Yes. We'll be back. The Urban League is well represented today here at the 41st Annual Congressional Black Caucus Leadership Conference, where this year's theme centers on the importance of jobs in America. You met the CEO nationally. Now meet the CEO from Phoenix, Arizona, where they're going around saying, Lord, make it rain, make it rain. Say hello to President and CEO George Dean. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you, Bev, for having me. And, it's really good to be in the nation's capital and to see this kind of excitement and so forth that is going on here at the 41st Annual CBC. And we need to get some of this energy and get it back into Arizona as well as the rest of the country.
What are the problems that Arizona face? Similar to around the country?
Very much so, very much so. And in addition to that, we have in our state, unfortunately, our politicians have made immigration a real problem. You know, if you're familiar with it, last year our legislature and governor signed SB 1070, the first immigration, they call it immigration reform. I call it an anti-civil rights, bigoted type of legislation that was passed. And fortunately, the courts have held it up, and it's not in effect now. So, but that's the big thing that's going on in Arizona.
Well, it's interesting because the people who are imposing this kind of a thing, your governor, what's his ancestry? Where did they come from? And did they come into this country legally? Were they given an opportunity? It's interesting that when you have economic problems, we need a scapegoat. So it's black folks and justice, injustice, and now it's immigrants who are not the problem. Notice they're not going after the farmers in their state or the factories in their state. They're going after the people who just want a job, aren't they?
Just want a job, that's exactly right. And in fact, they talk a lot about family values and so forth, but we say that for those people who will take a chance on crossing that Sonurian Desert in July and August when it's 120 and 25 degrees to get a job, making $7 an hour and live in a one-room apartment with 9 other guys and sending the majority of that money back home to their wife and kids in Mexico. That's family values. That's strong family values. It means that he cares for his family. And that's what most of the immigrants are here for, to make life better for them.
Final question. Have you ever seen such cruelty among conservative politics as you are seeing now? In like Texas, shoot to kill. Arizona, if you come in here, we're not going to let you. At the border, we're stopping you. This is against all the rules of the Bible.
And against everything. I've never seen it. We are at a very critical crossroads in our country right now. And I think that the polarization that has taken place and what we have here in Washington with the Congress fighting against the president and so forth, we better do something quick to turn this around. We are slowly slipping downhill.
On behalf of the people who are with the World Chronicle, Art and Larry, I'd like to present you with this. And let me I'm not even going to say anything, just open it up. We'll pause as he opens up the Black Chronicle. Little music, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, keep turning. Keep turning. And there we go. These are original newspaper clippings that tell the story of African Americans and our quest to be Americans. And we want you to have a copy. And if anyone is interested, because we're selling these here, if anyone is interested, it's the Black Chronicle, and you will want one of these for your home and for your children. We appreciate everything that you're doing. We're glad to meet you, George Dean. And now you know you're part of the Bev Smith family. Thank you.
This segment is sponsored by the Black Chronicle. Visit worldchronicleinc.com.